Autherine Lucy was just another African-American woman living in Shiloh, Alabama in the 50s. Only one difference existed between her and other African-American women. She was courageous enough to enroll as the first black student at the University of Alabama. Although the Brown versus Education court battle had given her the right to enroll, many others thought otherwise. Her arrival caused uproar, and only 3 days after her admission, she was surrounded by hostile mobs everywhere she went. A week later, she was expelled for her own safety. Her mere admission into the University of Alabama turned into a hard-fought court battle. Although she was only a student for a couple of days, these days signified the possibility of desegregation and equality. An African-American student in a white university signified the end of Jim Crow, the end of an era that put so many through pain and suffering, the end of the era of segregation. The work of Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, and many other African Americans were for the beginning of equality, the small rights that all of mankind should enjoy, the right to be admitted into a desegregated college.
Autherine Lucy was a shy yet bright student who grew up on a farm, a background that gave no inkling to the huge civil rights activist she would become. She excelled at Selma University, where she attended to get her bachelor's degree. At this university, she met the two most influential people of her life, Polly Myers and Hugh Foster, her future husband. After completing her bachelor's degree, Myers and Lucy pursued the impossible: admission into the University of Alabama. It was Myers who had thought up of the idea and who had propelled Lucy throughout the movement. Surprisingly, they were accepted at first, but to their dismay, it was only because the representatives had not known their ethnicity. When their ethnicity was revealed, the representatives said that they had made a mistake and that Lucy and Myers were not to be admitted. Controversy arose, and a long legal battle for the rights of Lucy and Myers began around the same time as the Brown versus Education legal pursuit was occurring.
The trial was adjourned, and the decision was made. Autherine Lucy would enter the University of Alabama as a student, while Myers' admission was officially denied due to her illegitimate pregnancy, which was against moral codes. However, the chaos was not over yet. The court may have made their decision, but the public had not. Shy, yet brave at heart, 26-year-old Autherine Lucy, all alone, opened the doors of a university that had never been opened by her race before. Although she was greeted by a few students, the majority of the students shunned and taunted her. On her third day, she was met by a mob, prohibiting her from entering her first class. Somehow, through sheer luck, she had made it through. However, the crowd grew and disrupted the class with chants consisting of, "To hell with Autherine, and let's kill her." University officials recognized the severity of the conflict and assisted Autherine on her way to her next class. They were pelted with rotten eggs. The mob grew even larger to consist of 1,000 to 3,000 angry whites. The situation grew fatal for Lucy and forced her to find refuge in a room. The crowd surrounded the building, allowing no way out or in. As she lay in that room, she was quoted in previous convictions to say, "I ask the Lord to give me the strength, if I must give my life, to give it freely." After several painful hours, she was rescued out of the building and taken back home. That was her last day at the University of Alabama. The Board of Trustees decided for her safety to expel her, and her lawyers had found this expulsion legal.
The legal battle that ensued was exhausting, yet the satisfaction of knowing that she would finally rid the United States of segregation in education motivated her. NAACP filed a suit protesting her expulsion. However, federal courts ordered that Lucy could not be resubmitted into college until other measures had been taken. Autherine Lucy was not a quitter, but she was a shy farm girl who was still overwhelmed by all the attention and drama directed at her. The trials were emotionally draining, and the constant hatred directed at her was ultimately too much. She did not stop fighting, though. She rallied support for other leaders and spread the word of segregation through NAACP meetings and civil rights speeches. Autherine Lucy then became known as Autherine Lucy Foster when she married Hugh Foster, the minister from Miles College. For the next 17 years, she would stay out of the spotlight, wanting to have her own private life. She later became a teacher and then a lecturer. She's invited back to the University of Alabama in 1988 to speak to a history class. Once there, she was asked by a student, "Did you ever try to re-enroll?" She told him that she might one day. A few faculty members overheard this and decided to help her overrule her expulsion. 32 years after she had been expelled, she stepped through the doors of the University of Alabama again. However, this time, she was greeted with cheers and hugs. 4 years later, she was graduating to a standing ovation and a portrait of her being put up in the hall. The caption read, "Her initiative and courage won the right for students of all races to attend the university." When asked about how she felt about her struggles, she replied, "I can't say that I gained complete satisfaction, but I do feel that it was an opportunity to get the ball rolling for the university to be opened up to other people in the state."
Autherine Lucy Foster was not only the first African American woman to enter the doors of the University of Alabama, but she was the first to take initiative to desegregate colleges, and she made sure she was not the last.